So pleased to be able to introduce you to Balance, the new flute of the month. This flute of the month is made out of Zericoti wood, cocobolo, myrtle burl. We have silver, ebony, and copper on it as well. The totem on it is the Yin Yang totem. It's a Yin Yang medallion that we made with myrtle burl and cocobolo with silver and copper inlays. This flute also has a new type of inlay that we have been talking about doing, but just hadn't had the right flute to do it on. And that inlay is right here. There's 4 of them on the top and on the bottom, and then 2 in the totem. And the inlay is created with a silver tube and has some copper wire and silver wire in the middle. And it makes just a really cool pattern when you cut it and inlay that. So I'm really excited about that. That type of inlay, I believe, is called mosaic inlay. And super excited that we're able to utilize it on this flute. This flute started out as actually had the working title Eclipse. The Camotillo flute on my website, the double flute made out of Camotillo, was the original Eclipse flute. I love that design so much that I wanted to incorporate some elements of that design in this flute. And as we talked about it and tried different things out and thought about different ways of creating this flute as an Eclipse flute versus that double flute, there were just a number of things that just didn't fit right. And the idea behind the Eclipse flute was this idea of opposites coming together and creating something truly amazing and unique, such as an eclipse, where you have the sun and the moon kind of an opposite. When the sun is shadowed by the moon, it creates that eclipse, and you have to be in the right place and right position in order to see it. With Balance, the same principles are involved in this. The idea of opposite things coming together to making something that's better than would have been if there weren't the opposite situations. And I think it's just a really interesting concept, this idea of opposites and utilizing and accepting the opposites of things. And particularly in the time that we're in right now, just kind of crazy time. And I think it's good that we can remember that just because something's the opposite of what we perhaps think or believe doesn't mean that it's bad or good. And that perhaps through the interaction of those opposites, something wonderful can occur. That's my hope anyways. Again, the flute is made out of Zericoti. The Zericoti came from a gentleman down in Florida who wanted to get a flute for a friend of his who was dealing with PTSD and from Vietnam, and just wasn't really doing all that great. And he thought, man, I think a flute would be something that would really benefit his life. And so he called me up and asked me if I'd be interested in trading some really nice woods for a flute. And the woods that he had were, spectacular, absolutely spectacular woods. He had pink ivory, which is almost impossible to get anymore in a size that's big enough for a flute. This bit of Zericoti, some African blackwood, some olive wood, a number of other different woods that were really fabulous. And so I'm quite excited to have this. I like where the wood came from. I like it particularly in terms of thinking about balance and how important it is that we're able to keep balance. Yeah, I love the medallion. I'm so stoked about it. This medallion creation, I actually had to make a new tool to be able to press the silver into the proper shape to create the wave through the middle of it. And it was so cool. It was so fun. I tried to do it out of wood first, and each time I did, the wood kept breaking. And so finally I made one out of aluminum, and it just worked so great. It was so exciting. So kind of a number of different fun things on this flute in terms of actually making the instrument that made it really fun for us to create in the shop, these mosaic inlays and the medallion, and just a real fun creative process that we were able to go through. If you are interested in one of these flute, if you are interested in an Eclipse flute, by all means, please let me know, or you can just go to the website. They'll be available there for purchase. And through the end of, or through the middle of December, these flutes will be on special. There'll be a 20% discount on these flutes, and that makes it a little bit nicer to get them now versus another time down the road. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Whether you're dreaming of your first native flute or wanting to create some custom instrument, Wood Sounds is where your dreams can be made real. My name is Brent Haynes, and you can reach me at 801-822-1415 or brent@woodsounds.com. Have a great day.